Hello once again, good people. Another batch of funny books here from the past few weeks. Different sources. One from an online auction, local comic book shop. A couple more from an LCS, and actually a big batch more from um, a continuing free comic book day sale that was going on for a week, and it was half off back issues. So a bunch of these, a bunch of those, a lot of like even like dollar books there because of like they would be like two, and at the end, if we get to them, if it's not too long a video, it'll be new releases. If it's too long, maybe I'll split the new releases into a separate video, because a lot of them were just meh. There were like a handful that I thought were really awesome. We'll talk like briefly about some. Try to keep it moving though. All right, let's rock. All right, first was this auction, local. We talk about the virtues, but mainly the crappiness of stuff like Facebook. But it can be, at least where I am, a good place for some local sales. This was an auction like on each book. There was one key in here that was $22. The total for all of these was 42. So there are five other comics in here that added up to the 20 remaining, and so about $4 each on these. This would be Dope Comics, and this is cool. Underground, issue number 1, and it looks like here. Apparently, this is the first printing, which is really cool for an average of like $4. I think it was more for this because a couple were like cheaper. We got Jay Lynch, Kim Deitch, Dennis Kitchen, Howard Cruz, Trina, Joel Beck, Steve Styles, Ken Fletcher, Doug Hansen, Larry Ripple. I'm not sure if all of these are in this, but yeah, some underground anthology from 1978. Is it Kitchen Sink? Another underground here. Sorry, Harold Head. Some classic yippie stuff here. I've read Abby Hoffman and Jerry Rubin. Some of the yippie stuff is kind of fun. Kind of like hippies, but more anarchist, syndicalist maybe, or like get things done. This is Rand Holmes. Kind of classic stuff. I'll skip past some nudity. Better make sure to do that. Here you got, obviously this guy on the bus must be like modeled on Tricky Dick Nixon. The only dope worth shooting up is Dick Nixon. For all you freaks out there. I just want to show a little bit of the art because it is pretty cool. This kind of like non-house style of the underground. This is always pretty neat. A lot of personality in each of these artists. This kind of like through the glasses view of he's smoking pot in a back alley, and sees this badge flash in front of his eyes here. He inhales the joint and all, not just the smoke, and swallows it. It's just his friend playing a joke on him, though. Yeah, again, some nice art here. The classic twisted spine, even back then in the late 70s. Yeah, this kind of like cool view too. a lot of creativity with the foreground in some of these, and the like, what do you call it? Screen tone. A lot can be done with that, with just like highlight white, black, and the mid-ground or the mid-tone of gray. A lot of cool stuff can be done with that. Yeah, and again, these kind of like weird character models and stuff that you'd see in independent art and animation at the time. Look at this car. I was wondering if maybe he traced it. Yeah, he gets enlisted to smuggle pot from Mexico to Canada because he was a pilot. I think it was in the Vietnam War, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I was wondering if this might have been traced. This is so well done here. Look at like the shine and everything, and again the use of the screen tone. But it's kind of like there's a little bit of, like, say the curve, and like it's a little bit maybe off. Maybe there's a little bit of curve in the lines there, so maybe it's not traced. But well done either way. Just cool stuff. I like Grand Homes. They run afoul of these like Mexican banditos when they're out on the back roads going towards the farm. Wondering if this guy might be modeled kind of almost on like Bronson or Tuco from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly there. Yeah, again with the screen tone is pretty cool. Yeah, kind of a classic, this Harold head. Yeah, again with the yippies. I don't know if they're associated with like yippies, but kind of a weird movement back then. You know, you probably like, what are you familiar with, like Ken Casey and Chicago 7 or Chicago 8 back then and stuff. This is cool. Nancy, this is so fun. These make me laugh. This was only $1 also, which is cool because it's a little bit beat up, a little ratty. Honestly, it's kind of hard to get when it's so chipped and like frayed like this. Hard to get in the Golden Age bag, so maybe I should put it in a magazine bag. This is so funny. They're so like delightful, man. So they just like straight up make you laugh. There's so many funny jokes. This police officer, all you members of the midget gang, this confusing these kids with a gang. If you're just kids, how come he's old enough to be bald? Sluggo. Just tons of funny shit, man. I just love these, man. They really just put you in like a good mood. And it's not like pap or anything. There is like a rebellious like element of like nonconformity maybe. I'm not, it's hard to explain, but like these look like it might be like soft or naive or something, but they're just so good. They're so good. And I was like, when I saw this cover, I was like, oh, Nancy like defaced the sign or something, or it was spelled wrong. But then it's probably the owner, one of the previous owners of this magazine, made it say, instead of doll hospitals, doll hospital. A little bit of the troublemaking Nancy spirit maybe had hold of one of the previous owners of this. That's too funny for me. I will not, absolutely will not try to get rid of that or anything. That's an enhancement. The blue label or whatever on there. Okay, this is the one that took that was $22. Because I'm not, you know me, I'm not like much of a key guy except sometimes, and I was looking for this for maybe about a year or so. Pardon me there. This is a new X-Men number 128, First Appearance of Phantom X, but the homies Igor Corday and Uncle EVS on the cover. This is kind of like a cool key to get. I do like Phantom X, and yeah, in the spirit of like, this is one of the first things I read getting back. Like I want to like read keys and see how fun they are, how good a read they are, how good a representation of that first appearance of a character are. So pretty cool. All in all, like a pretty fun read. I think Phantom X is more fun and interesting though in what's it called? In Uncanny X-Force. So Igor Corday, of course, like some people complained about his art on the run, but it's kind of like weird and cool, really different. There's that Emma Frost White Queen there. And a couple more just like run filler. This is Astonishing X-Men number 9. Just putting that all together. And this is a weird one. I just bought it like for the cover, or I bid on it for the cover. I was like, that looks weird. And it is kind of like what I thought it might be on the inside. Heavily like manga influence. And I think it really seems like the influence of like Masamune Shirau's smut. Like it's so similar, like in the clothing and the way the tones and coloring look, like the shine on kind of like the pleather or vinyl or whatever, and how it's so fan servicey. I can't believe this was even put out by Marvel, like as an official Marvel release. It's so weird. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that X-Women by Manara, and how like it's just so kind of suggestive, or like really riding the edge of like what they would allow. Again, so much like the Shirao smut. I should showcase some of the, I do have like a smut collection and a lot of the a big lot of the Shirao stuff, but I don't know how I can show that at some time. Maybe heavily censored, but or if there was like a non-YouTube thing or something. Like, yeah, I gotta show this stuff. It's so crazy. We do show a lot of smut, I guess, on this channel. We will continue to do so. All kinds of stuff though. Just show a little bit more of the gratuity. We're here for it. Maybe just a minute or two, right? Like, so how could this be a Marvel comic? That pose, like, come on, man. Yeah. So pretty cool. Okay, to the next shop. This is a little batch from 204 Comics, starting off with from their bargain bins. So when they're bargain bins, I think when it's unbagged, it's 50 cents, right? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Bumper Compendium Edition, parts 3 and 4. Still haven't read that. Star Wars Darth Vader, number 9, from Gillen and La Roca run. Striker, number 1. Talked about this before, was that movie. The anime was co-directed or directed by Otomo. It was called The Spriggan. Kind of weird, maybe a bit more like for kids though, but I mean, I feel like I've got these like a bunch of times and then like not kept them, but every time I'm kind of like, maybe I should, maybe I do like them enough, but I feel like it would be more fun for like a young adult or like a kind of teen, like around like 10 to 13-year-olds or something, depending. Okay, same with these. I've like got them and tried to read them and get into them a couple times, but it just didn't click with me for some reason, but I've heard this is some of the best stuff. I should try to give them a try. It felt like overwhelming because there's so many characters and weird powers and stuff they have. I think, Sinkiko, you were saying it's almost like Hill Street Blues meets like superheroes or something. Top 10, number 2. Are each of these kind of self-contained also? Number 3. X-Men rarities. Okay, now $1 each. These are Catwoman number 8, just from the post-GM March run there. Law Dog and Grimrod. Grimrod was like my favorite character so far in Alien Legion. So does this mean he survives a long time? I kind of like not knowing if he's going to be in danger and stuff. But from the Epic run, and look at this. It even has the trading card still in there. Law Dog versus Grimrod. This has got to be worth a lot of money, right? Maybe some entertainment at least. Another, this time $3, because I gotta get, I love these. Ghost of Dracula number 2. I've still never found number 3 to 5. I think there's like a 5-issue series, but always looking for these. The Hab number 1, because I didn't have the A cover, so got it there. And let's talk about a new release preemptively. I did want to read the second issue of Nectar to see how it was. This is a 1 in 10 for $8 there. Yeah, and I'm not into it. This is like fully normie. Normie pilled now. There's like nothing very interesting in this, in my opinion. It got to the point where the church, like the church people or anybody like religious Christians or whatever, just see like the dancing as like demonic, and the protagonist is like all about the science, so they think he's like demonic. They're like anti-science and stuff, and it's like, this is what we're doing, man. We're gonna have this like freaking Facebook debate in leisure time in our comics and entertainment that we pay for, and no, I don't want that. And I mean, there's probably a reason, right? Like they say public dialogue is, or like even the news cycle and stuff, the public debate and dialogue is kept at like a grade 6 or 7 level. And it's kind of like come on, man, like, oh, I better think this or that, maybe Cynthia won't like you, or like it's just so like stagnated on purpose or something. To like, I just feel like everybody's like, it's insulting to all their intelligence to have this constant barrage of just like kind of just in the slime, like in the slop kind of like dialogue, or like seeing each other as like just caricatures, like like really demeaning stereotypes or something. I'm off. I cannot even go on. This is so horrible. This is such crap. I can't even like go on anymore. So yeah, I'm off the Nectar train. Maybe they'll pull it together, but it's not looking good. Okay, next shop. Previous to the free comic book day sale, I was over at Mighty Comics, found some stuff there, just like a buck or two each. BPRD, War on Frogs number 2. I really liked number 1, so glad to get that. This is kind of cool because I saw the solicitation for Gehenna. What is it called? It's a one-shot, like something Gehenna in Tokyo or something coming out. And this is the writer, Patrick Hinlin, that was doing Tigress Island. And that was surprisingly good. So wanted to check this out. It's kind of like, again, Naked Aggression, a little bit playing on like marketing, I guess. A femme fatale, like action, crime, and like she's a good femme fatale, man. This is just like a big fight scene, the whole comic, and I heard even like the series is like a big fight scene, and it's pretty cool. The fight coordination or choreography is actually really good. From panel to panel, it's really good, and the dialogue and everything is quite cracking as well. This is kind of like a local superhero trying to take her down, and she's just like not having it. She's got to keep moving, keep rolling. Missed the first half of the series, but it was fun enough to be able to jump in on this and not be like not bored at all. Like so many, this is the kind of thing where a lot of like crime or action movies, like a lot is happening, it just keeps moving. Like I think of something like Payback or something like that, where like a lot is like the things just kind of keep progressing and heightening. Or like, you know, maybe like Total Recall, but that's more like sci-fi and stuff, right? But just shit like keeps happening, it just keeps going. Yeah, pretty fun stuff. I'm gonna try to find more of these, but I don't think it'll be easy. This is Gehenna Naked Aggression number 4. There's a bunch of different variant covers for these. Yeah, these are fucking fun as shit, man. Seemingly, anyway. I always wonder about this one. There's Lex Luthor Unauthorized Biography by James D. Huddle and Eduardo Barreto. Yeah, I saw this a lot like growing up around, but I never checked it out. But I do like these names, so we'll see about that. This is a cover by, this is Poison Ivy number, it's like number 38 or 39 or something, but a Kyung Eom. You know, I like the Kyung Eom when it's, I don't know, just certain times, you know, when it's a little bit fan servicey, but also like really nice illustration. Yeah, you'll be seeing me get it like a couple of cover buys once in a while. I am like playing that, getting into that a little bit now. Of like, I have like a short box of stuff that I like to keep that are just like nice covers, cheesecake, pinup, swimsuit, lingerie covers, or specials and all that stuff. From the free section there, Finest Batman Year 2 number 1. Haven't read these. Batman and Robin Year 1. Kind of good style of art in there. Okay, more from visiting back in the Free Comic Book Day sale and free comic pile. Starting off, a bunch of these G.I. Joes for free. G.I. Joe number 1, first print. G.I. Joe number 2, I think that's first print as well. Number 8. Number 18. This was originally priced at $1, so 50 cents. Tor number 6. Is the Kubert cover? It kind of looks like it, but I don't think it's Kubert on the inside. Is it? That's Kubert, right? But it's a little bit like, I don't think this is. But for 50 cents, let's see, putting together some Tor. That's Kubert. Let's show that. Bonehead, Pachycephalosaurus. Nice drawing there. Putting these together, I had compiled these back when I was collecting Mobius as a teenager, but I like didn't keep it, but I'm giving it another shot. The Airtight Garage Onyx Overlord part 3 of 4. I don't know if I'll keep these again. It's kind of like approved guys doing like Man from Sagiri, Major Grubert, right? Hermetic Garage. Oh shit, there is Mobius story and art in here. Okay, that's cool. Mobius story. Oh shit. And Randy and Jean-Marc L'Officier, the script. Okay, so we did have something to do with this, even though it's not his art in the main story. We better look at that back matter, though. Try to find some Mobius stuff to look at. Okay, it's kind of like sketches, maybe? From Major Grubert's notebooks. That's cool. So loose, the almost like thumbnails. Okay. Yeah, these are all $1 now. Raid Bradbury Comics. I saw the names Harvey Kurtzman, Matt Wagner, and Sean Phillips. That's kind of a weird group to be doing these. Dan Burton cover. That's kind of nice too. I just wanted to show this. This is weird. It also, yeah, reprints the EC comic, I guess. That was by Kurtzman. This is Matt Wagner, but doing a weird style. Like, even that font, it looks so much like Kyle Baker, maybe. This is so weird. This is the Matt Wagner one, right? Yeah, it's gotta be. And the second one, this would be Sean Phillips. Again, like, much different than Then we'd see later. We'll see. I'm not very familiar with Bradbury, but check that out. More for $1. DV. This is published from Australia apparently, but I saw it had like Eddie Campbell and boobs. So when I flipped through it, so I was like, yep, this is like Eddie Campbell stuff is so fun to read, man. This one, how to successfully be an artist, not to be confused with becoming a successful artist. Before starting, never believe the old fart who tells you the way he did it is the formula. First, you must make your bargain with fate. He's on one knee. I will cherish not material security, but will squander it all in the search for wisdom. Furthermore, I will only lie in the service of truth. Then you must get the most dead-end job you can find, one that does not require intelligence, because you will need to deploy that elsewhere. You must put yourself through an informal course of learning everything there is to learn. This is not to be confused with learning everything you need to know. You could easily go to college for that. This will take the rest of eternity. So the sooner you start out, the sooner you'll come home, as the mother said to the son going to war. Yeah, fun as hell reading Eddie Campbell. And this second story had boobs, and I was like, cool. But then when I got it home and read it, it's actually like a... Well, let's go through it. So this like beautiful girl looking directly at you, like right into the camera. Wow, oh Jack, you don't know how good that felt. Every time just seems better than the last. It's amazing. I wish we could stay like this forever, darling. Just you and me on our own little world. I want no one else, only you. I think I love you. I think I love you. It's kind of like fizzing out the dialogue and the art. And you see this like helmet, this technological helmet, and this naked like kind of pudgy guy, dad bod guy, in this like virtual reality helmet. This is 1996. This is so prescient. Just instead of the helmet, it's a phone though. And you see this menu here. Program memo, Jack. You have an 15:30 appointment. Would you prefer to resume later? He's using the menus, takes the helmet off, and you get this like stark noir sci-fi world. It's such a good contrast to that opening. And you can see that even though it is technologically advanced, it looks like pretty dour, pretty dire. This dingy back alley that he goes through and then gets stabbed. This cat in the back alley, just kind of watching and then crawling, like going towards him as he's bleeding. Gets back home and puts back on the virtual reality helmet. Who was that? That was Marcus Moore and Pete Mullins. Pretty nice. A lot of names I don't recognize though on here. Yeah, but cool looking anthology anyway. DV. That's number 1. Oh, there's some trading cards in here. Oh no, that's with the Bradbury comic. And DV number 7. More for $1. Florida Man number 1. Moon Knight number 1 from the Warren Ellis and Declan Shalvey run. Been looking for this for a long time because I do like that run, but this is the only issue I'm missing. And but this beat though. But it is a first print, but yeah, this beat. I think if it's not beat, it's actually like worth some dough, right? Even the second printing apparently. But yeah, I do like this run. And each issue is kind of standalone too, which is like I really love that. It's not like a prerequisite, but I just really appreciate when you can tell us like a full story in one comic. It's so fucking refreshing and enjoyable. This is a good little run, man. I like it anyway. Who was the guy back in like 2017 that was on this writing Moon Knight though? I remember your boy Zach at the time, I think it was 2017 or 2018, he had like a post and he was saying like the guy that writes Moon Knight is like G.G. Allen and how crazy he is. He's like, basically it's like if G.G. Allen was writing Moon Knight. That's one of the funniest reviews or advocacies for a Moon Knight comic I've ever heard. That's one to try and find too. I forget who it was, though. I did get a like one of those from a 50-cent bin, and it was fun. It's like when he's in an insane asylum or something, though. Anyway, moving on. Okay, there's a box of Cable comics there. Again, for $1. Darko McCann, he's the writer on Grendel Tales. Was it Devils and Deaths? I forget exactly which Grendel Tales, but that one is like highly renowned. And the McCann and Corday run on Cable was like, I really enjoy reading that. I'm still trying to put that together, but I guess this is like more of that team. Soldier X number 5 and number 6. Number 7, free comic book day of Stray Dogs. People are saying check out Stray Dogs and Furals, so $1 to try that. From Now Comics, Twilight Zone 3D special. Not with the 3D glasses though, but for $1, I think this is a pretty cool find. Like, I would check this out regardless, but this looks like kind of just normal 90s fodder on the cover. But Antonio Seguro Cervera on the writing, and Luis Bermejo. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to read this on the 3D, but Pyramid of the Black Sun. That's a cool opening page and title. Bit of a dog whistle for some people in the audience, maybe. Yep. Messing around. I looked at this through some 3D glasses, and it did look cool too. That's a good thing. Kind of this far out, maybe South American or Mexican or European Spanish art. I'm not sure where those guys are from, but just going by the names. Yeah, this looks cool, man, for $1. Just that 3D section gets going, but I am like evaluating it. A lot of the time, the 3D stuff, I'm like, okay, if I don't like it, I can like put it out for sale. It's kind of cool. But like a lot of them, I end up keeping, and it's like kind of fun to read them. It's almost like going into like a little weird movie, or watching like a full animated movie. A lot of the time, it's like a bit of a weird visual. You can get into it. A lot of the time, though, I think one thing, if it's like kind of looking weird, just like mess with the angle of the page. And I think I've said it before, but it bears repeating, that they're not all the same tint, so you can't just use the same 3D glasses for every comic or printed matter, unfortunately. Just keep your hands on every 3D glasses that you find, because they're all like kind of a little bit different shades of blue and red to get the effect, so depending. Okay, some classic Zorro, what's it called? My bad. Oh, that's number 4 in a minute. This is different. This is Zorro Legendary Adventures. Reprinting stuff from like early 70s. Love that Zorro. Always gotta get the Zorro. That's number 3. Number 4. Yeah, that's all dollar stuff. Yeah, so like, I wanted to, the original, like, so I was there like 2 days back at the beginning on Free Comic Book Day, and then this like towards the end now. And like my plan was like, okay, drink an energy drink and go through like the whole wall of miscellaneous like indie stuff A to Z, because I know the stock in there, like I can suss out that the stock in there has actually changed a bit over the past like 6 months and year. So yeah, that's what I did. I like just hunkered down and like bared myself up, even though like a bit sleep deprived and starving, hungry, and like going into stress survival mode of that is like just do it anyway, just toughen up and get through it. So cool. Found some cool stuff. That was all like $1 now to $1.25. From the like indie sets, there's like a section of like sets and runs there. This is from like one of the indie boxes. Street Fighter 4 from Udon. Again, this is that team, you heard me talk about that Taskmaster series that was done by Udon as being like really fun. And this is the same writer, Ken Siu Chung. Maybe the same artist, I forget. Joel, make him say, I'm messing around. That's Joe NG. Favorite letters for words for gamers. Alright, sorry, just messing around, too many jokes. Okay, Joe NG though, Joe Ng on the art. This adds up to like $1.25 per comic. I'm not sure how fun the Street Fighter series is, but that writer is fucking fun as hell. And the artist too. Joe, make him say, that's Street Fighter number 4, number 2, number 3. Let's take just a look inside quick, because see what I'm talking about here. Not the easiest art style to do, but pretty enjoyable. Like, I mean, it might not always be my thing, but I could definitely like appreciate it when it's done. This is done real well. All the characters and like kind of fisheye lens and perspective effects and stuff, and dynamism, and just lots of fights and action. That's pretty good. Kind of gory there too. The babes look babified too. Still Violet. There's Akuma. Just quickly, just a little sample. I mean, like, I think this. I don't know how easy it is to find these, but pretty fun. And number 4. This is cool. This is like what do you call it? Almost like Degrassi PSA style comics back in the day. Big break, but I've never seen this issue, number 3, put out by the Committee on Unplanned Parents or Pregnancy, rather. And check it out. It's even signed by local legends who did it. George Freeman and Darren Marinick. Talked about Marinick before. This one's like a little darker and grittier than that number 1. Like, again, I talk about, this is kind of like that Degrassi thing of like, don't do drugs, don't have premarital sex, don't drink and drive. But a little bit more lusty or something. This one here, they break into this like abandoned house. Or not break in, but you know, kids will be partying. Carol takes Erica upstairs. Trish says it squeaks, talking about the bed. A little. If you like the way I look, why haven't you said anything? You look great, but I always like the way you look. Yeah, this kind of lusty, like, inebriated looks on their faces, too. That's real well done. Yasa. Yeah, man. A little bit, like, put out by, like, a committee and stuff, but this seems like a little more risque. Maybe they're having a little more fun with it. They're partying. This fucking house burns down. Well, it was a good place to get laid. Yeah, pretty good. All right, a little less, much less like stiff. I don't want to talk shit on the first one, but yeah, this is like definitely more of a keeper. The first one I've like had and unsold like a couple times. I still keep one copy, but this one is weird, man. I've never even seen this one before. There's a PSA on condoms. Get it on. There you go. Okay, this is a weird looking one too. I never heard of this. To protect and serve the Marvel Universe, Code of Honor. With painted interiors. Sorry, it's like square bound. Chuck Dixon, Tristan Shane, and Brad Parker. Kind of like doing like Alex Ross kind of style maybe too. A lot of weird, nice looking stuff though. A lot of guys in here. We got Luke Cage and Spider-Man so far. I think Punisher's in here. Let's try to get to that. See where Punisher is. I don't know what this is. I imagine it's some kind of like tie-in to be about like police and stuff too. Sorry, it's hard to open this. The other desk is the desk for Squarebound thing is this cluttered. Had to do some moving. So there's a lot of stuff on there right now. Holy crap! Okay, I can't. I can't. This is too difficult to do with one hand. Maybe next time, but looks interesting anyways. More from Udon with Siu Chong, the writer. Darkstalkers, number 48. For $1.50, I think that's pretty good. This, I don't have no idea what this is. The Final Plague by Arnold and Geraldi Brown. Not the pianist, Vince Geraldi, who you love. A different Geraldi. Still spelled the same, though. I was like, I had this in my pile, and then when he got to it, when he was like kind of figuring out what everything would cost, he's like, this is in the 150 pile, and I'm like, wait a minute, I wanted to look in there and see what that is, actually, before making a decision. And then opening it up, like, the first page is a guy getting like his face torn off by about a dozen or 20 rats. So I was like, yeah, okay, that looks good, I'll take it. Sometimes you can make quick informed decisions. Yeah, no idea what this is. Action Lab Danger Zone. Okay, from the G.I. Joe box, just a cover by, no random G.I. Joe issue. Chuck Dixon and S.L. Gallant. There's so many G.I. Joe comics. Nice Snake Eyes on there. These ones, I think there's like expensive Last of the Mohicans, but it's just like, I never got into the movie, even though I love Michael Mann. It's not like neon enough, the Last of the Mohicans movie. And sometimes Daniel Day-Lewis, I don't get into it. He's good, I know, but he doesn't really like work for me. I'd rather see Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe being a good actor is just about making good decisions and having charisma, not actually like the acting. So, or like keeping your attention. I don't know, you know. That's kind of like what it is for me. I'm saying maybe some stupid shit right now, but I just never really like got into the movie, kind of, and I'm too lazy to read the book, but it seems like cool. So check out these comics anyways of Last of the Mohicans, number 1, number 2, number 3. Online they can kind of sell for a good amount though. Number 4, number 5, and missing number 6, unfortunately. But, you know, by that point, I'm going to know if I want to track down number 6 or not. An issue of Metal Harlan was like hiding there. This is number 2 from the early 2000s. These are thick boys. These are cool. These are solid. Let's check the halfway pinup by Fred Beltran that they were doing earlier on. And some more Beltran, Jodorowsky, and Megalex. Fun times. He's like, you had to get the swimsuit issue, didn't you? It was the only issue there. You can't blame me. $1.50. You know how we do here. We will continue to do so. I hope I'm not overdoing it, you guys, but every X-Men issue comic, like, it needs to have a relaxing issue. Every manga needs a beach episode. Every anime needs a beach episode. Chilling out at the beach with all the ladies. Where's Erd? I need to see Erd. They're kind of nice. Yeah, $1.50. Oh yeah, suggestive too. Don't click off, guys. We got non-smut stuff too. Something for everybody. For the highfalutin smut. Tomb of can't say that name. Presents Throne of Blood, a one-shot by, I'm not familiar with the writer, but Goran Parlov on the art. I recently reread Punisher the Platoon, and Parlov did the art on that, and it was awesome. But this looks cool. Maybe it's that guy, you know, running afoul of feudal Japan samurai. Might be cool. I like that it's a one-shot also, just like a big thick comic. Sometimes even though it's one comic, it's not that it like is easier to read, is just it can be even like more immersive and feel like a full experience, like watching maybe like a 45 or hour long good movie or animated movie. There was a box there. Like, I've been kind of filling in a lot of the X-Men runs that I've wanted. And there was a new box I noticed in a corner that just said Mutants on it. So there was some X-Men in there. There's Astonishing X-Men number 10. Number 11. Yeah, just filling holes. Number 16. Number 22. Getting quite a lot of those. Okay, this is weird. These were, like, kind of hiding in a corner, too. Reich, an not autobiography, but an unauthorized independent biography on Wilhelm Reich. You've got an Orgon accumulator. The Orgon accumulator himself. Is that kind of like the thing about the ether or like chi, like the life force kind of surrounding us, trying to like harness that into like an energy source? Getting a little bit far out and esoteric, but also apparently that shit kind of worked. This I had to read a bunch of this last night when I got home, and it seems like a lot of this did Robert Anton Wilson even like make a play or something on this guy's life? But it seems like he was concerned a lot, at least, you know, take every based on a true story thing with like heavy grains of salt. Like, they're always, I can never like believe them. I'm always like, oh, probably 80% or 90% is bullshit. But a lot of this seems to be concerned with like the sexual force too. Take electricity, for example. We know not what it really is or where it comes from. We only know of its existence through the manifestation of light or electric shock. And like electricity, the Freudian libido can only be measured through its outward manifestations. Someday we may be able to measure libido much the same way we measure electrical waves. I suggest that the Vienna seminar on sexology branch out into groups and prepare courses on endocrinology, the general theory of hormones, biology, and psychoanalysis. Yeah. Pretty well. So this, it's like concerning a lot with like his personal life and like relationships and stuff too. That was excellent. Have you any more? Why, what's this? You ate mine too? I had my back to you for 2 minutes. Your parents are rich. I have nothing. You don't have to worry about your next meal. I do. Willie. Willie, you're terrible. Terribly handsome. Then they smooch. He's grabbing her ass while they're smooching. She says, Willie. Willie, stop it. Come now, don't be so Victorian. That's a good line, I gotta use that. Yeah, so a lot of, like, I want to learn about the Oregon accumulator, but kind of like, I guess sexology was like one of the things he was into. Here he is meeting with Freud. Hello, Dr. Freud. I'm Willie, Wilhelm Reich. I'm the chairman of the Vienna Sexology Seminar. Please come in, you'll catch your death out there. Thank you, sir. Yeah, when he's meeting with Freud, pretty cool. Nice little bits in here, as you'd find in like any kind of indie weird thing. Who did this? It's like Elijah Brubaker, that's who it was. What's this Dr. Freud like? I hear he's somewhat pompous. On the contrary, he had these piercingly intelligent eyes, but he looked at the world with a thoughtful, honest gaze. His way of speaking was quick, to the point and lively. Everything he said was shot through with humor and irony. He had natural movements, no posing as with the others I'd visited that day. He unintentionally convinced me to become an analyst. There are countless people attacked by sicknesses we can't treat with conventional medicine. Read a bit of the second one here too. $1.50. Cool find. Oregon accumulator. Urban gorilla. Bombs in their cellar. Potency has nothing to do with erections and ejaculates. It is simply the ability to let go, the capacity to surrender to the flow of biological energy, free from inhibition, the ability to completely discharge the dammed up excitation through involuntary convulsions of the body. Disgusting. Okay. Yeah, they're talking about like neurosis and stuff. Most experience disgust or revulsion. Yeah, that's normal. Hell yeah. Mess around. Reich issue number 5. Yeah, so missing like 3 and 4, and I don't know if there's more after this, but cool, I didn't even know this exists. Okay, moving on to, that was all $1.50, moving on to the next batch. Okay, these were $2 now. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 124. Again, Pop Comics mentions like the later G.I. Joes are a little bit harder to get, so I thought it would be a good opportune time to get them. Tor, number 4. I think this is actually Joe Kubert in the interior. Okay, 250 stuff. Faithless 3, number 1, Tulo Lotte variant. Yeah, real smutty. Can't show the interior in here. Maybe I'll check it out. Brandon Graham, Rain Like Hammers. No idea what this is. Big, thick. Yeah, there's like a lot of, actually, like, there's a lot sorted by publisher there. There's like a couple long boxes of weird Image Comics stuff, so got some things there. Damn it, there's like a little pile I forgot there, though. That always happens. More Udon, Street Fighter Menet. Kensu Chong again. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about these. We'll see. You've heard me go on and on about that Taskmaster. I swear it's great. Okay. Giant Size is from the Mutants box again. Giant Size Astonishing X-Men Annual? Or Giant Size Astonishing X-Men, anyways, number 1. No idea what this is. I didn't even, like, know about this. It's got, yeah, John Cassaday again on the art. Gotta love it. Spider-Man in here, though. Spidey. Okay, $3 each now. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, number 130. Half price. 131. Planet She-Hulk number 1 with the Friesen cover, because I want to keep one, but yeah, we'll get to it. The Planet She-Hulk series, it's not going to be a keeper for me. I'll just like sell the set, so just get an extra copy of number 1 to make that set to sell off. I still want to keep that for Friesen cover number 1 though, and the interior art on number 1 I thought was like when it was at its strongest. Your mileage may vary though. It's all good. Void Rivals number 19, because I kind of want to check out these Void Rivals and Transformer comics that I've missed. Kind of like buying them based on the cover when I like them, like this Wreck-Gar, one of the Junkticons or whatever. I really like him. Eric Idle did the voice of him in the movie, right? Where he just talks in like samples from TV and stuff. It's a cool concept, man. Really, really enjoyable. This is kind of ass, but getting it anyway. Hello Halloween number 1. Is this like, what the hell? How come it's called Hello Halloween number 1, but wasn't it just like Hello Darkness number 4? Actually, maybe this is different because that was R.L. Stein. I don't know, man. Anyhow, okay, I'm not super into this. Is now stuff that's just kind of miscellaneous price. I'm not super into this, but it is in really nice shape for this like Wrightson cover, Kong the Untamed. It's not Wrightson on the inside, it's Alfredo Alcala, who I also like. There's only like some indents, kind of slightly. There's no color breaks. It's one of those things where like, could I get this pressed? Like I know a guy who like steam presses stuff now, and he said he would do them for like $5 each. And I'm like, if I steam press it, maybe it would like be like an NM minus or something, or like it's real nice. But anyway, not that that all matters, but I mean it is kind of cool if you can like press something and then like up the value like a ton. It's kind of that alchemy, like lead into gold, kind of like creating value from like very little. So it's kind of cool to be able to do that. I have nothing against that. What was I gonna say? Even though it's not Wrightson, the art's kind of cool. I was thinking about a Tor page. I forgot to show, but not a big deal. Okay, again from that mutant box, filling holes in the run. These are the ones that I'm missing of Ill Bill's like getting ill layer on the new mutants. As shout out Big Elbow, he would say Ill Bill. It's a viral phrase. Yeah, I guess because these are kind of keys. So this averaged out to about $6 each because it was $18 for these 3 New Mutants comics. These are like pretty minty too. For those that matter, I can't remember. It's like first appearance of Demon Bear and first cameo and first full appearance of Legion or something. But these are the ones I was missing, the ones I was looking for. New Mutants number 18, number 21, and number 25. I think I'm still looking for number 26 as well. Okay guys, seeing as we're only about 45 minutes, we're gonna keep going and show the new releases here from the past few weeks. So please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, because I know there's sometimes the new releases aren't as interesting. I'll try to keep it short and sweet and like pertinent if I have anything interesting to say or anything. Everybody's taste varies too, so it kind of like, it doesn't really matter what I say. Like honestly, man, sometimes I like seeing people talk about new releases and I like don't even agree, but it's just kind of nice to see. Yeah, American Caper number 6. Fuck. Sometimes I'm like, this sucks, the series, because it's too like overdone, man. Like a lot of the time the unlikable, or the characters are so unlikable and cartoonishly so, that it's just, again, like caricatures. They're not, there's nothing like kind of realistic about them. It almost seems like ill-tempered, like, you know, when people have a worldview where you can tell like they hate all the characters they're writing about, you have to question like if they respect the intelligence of like the people around them, because all the characters are so ridiculous. But I do love like Danhauser and Laszlo. It has its times, but man, so many of these characters are just fucking, they suck. This guy's cool though. Like it's almost like the evil this coyote and the other guy are like the most interesting, and then like stabs this guy's dick under the hospital. Okay. Yeah. I'll stick with it, but like at times I'm like, I can understand why people don't. But I'll stick with it. I feel like they're going somewhere. They just have so much credit with me, Hauser and Laszlo, that like I'll give it to them. I got this one because of the hype, and like the cover is cool too. Corpse Knight number 1. But honestly, man, this felt like, to me, a lot of people are like, yeah, it's cool, it's epic. It's like, but it feels so cookie cutter, like a simple kind of revenge tale. Like, how much of that is like so fucking cookie cutter, man? It's like, yeah, okay, come back from, well, I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. The art, I wish the art was like the cover throughout, because I really did like that cover. I don't think I'll be sticking with this. That's all right, but it's not really my thing there. Maybe it's gonna go somewhere. Like it has potential. Like it kind of opens up, and then you get the idea that they're gonna be going on kind of like this long journey that might have like different settings and stories along the way and stuff. But like this last page is pretty good. But I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's not a lot hinting at that it'll be like enough to keep my attention personally. This cover is so nice though. But yeah, this is one of the most like hyped releases lately, and you know, I'm like, maybe I'm naturally contrarian, but it just didn't really, it felt like pretty paint by numbers. You know, okay, as a little bit of a digression, you know what I was talking about? Like I was hating on Absolute Batman originally before I like checked it out, and I was like thinking like, are they just doing shit for the sake of it? Like saying like, oh, his parents aren't even dead; they weren't killed by criminals. And you talk about stories like evolving, like maybe say like Death of Arthur or like Robin Hood and stuff. Like, yeah, it's kind of like what do you get to? What elements of a story are like important and stuff. A lot of stuff has to do with like parents and shit when it comes to superheroes. But you know, when they took that away, I'm like, they're just kind of doing shit for the sake of it. But you get down to it, like maybe it's weird how it is like a simple motivation. It's like, oh, your parent was killed, so you have to like go on this lifelong thing to avenge them or whatever. But when you get to it, like taking that away from Batman, he could still be Batman without that simple kind of like old fashioned motivation or whatever. Just something interesting to think about maybe, but yeah, anyways, this bored the shit on me. But okay, Daredevil 2. How to get the Rude Steve the Dude Rude cover. I enjoyed issue 1, and this kind of bummed me out. Cause we were talking about like one and done comics or like a complete story in one comic before, like previously in this video. This is like, I was like, when I was reading, I was like, oh yeah, now I remember. We're in the modern age where like we're gonna get these filler issues that are kind of like, you know, it's just like a filler episode of like, you probably don't even need to read this issue. Like, I mean, stuff happens in it, but it's kind of just like in between points where okay, I'm trying to get to like the next point in the story is like kind of the motivation of the of the characters and stuff. Like, hey, you're trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, blah blah blah. It's fine though, I'm still with it, but it's just like I got bummed out being like, oh yeah, this is gonna be one of those things where you have to read like 6 or 12 issues to like get resolutions, and then they're just gonna like have more cliffhangers to go on, and it's kind of serialized. And yeah, it reminds me, guys, I kind of get these like just to have something to talk about with you guys. I'm not advocating buying new comics. I love the industry, I hope it continues, but like, holy fuck, man, I think I'm wasting a lot of just to have shit to talk about. But I'll try to like always like recoup my costs and stuff. But yeah, some weeks I'm like, why am I buying new comics? But not that it's bad, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, fuck, maybe wait for the trade or something. But it's cool to get Spidey. It reminded me of that feeling you get when you get, it's like pleasant, it's like it's nice when you get Spidey again. Hey, what have I told you about taking hit and run cases so literally, Matt? It was just kind of pleasant and like friendly neighborhood jokester. Classic. Get Spider-Man on issue 2 or 3 of your series to get people to buy it. Classic trope. It's kind of fun to see that. But okay, Estuary number 2. I was definitely more happy with this than Nectar number 2. The writing was maybe a little bit more over the top though, like that kind of delusional mom was like overdone. But I'm reading this for like, I'm just enjoying the craftsmanship. We're gonna talk about the G.I. Joe Silent Missions issues, but this has like good cartooning or good like storytelling, good layouts. It's really I really like this artist, Mon House. That's the kind of house I bet you wish you lived in, huh? Sucker. Sorry guys. But this cartooning is good. I don't know if it's digital or painted, but I just really respect these layouts. And opening with this sequence like this is like, it's not a boring way to open. And you kind of like, even if issue 1 was a month ago, it's a good way to get back into the story. It's not even like necessarily continuing after the last page of the last issue, like some time has passed and stuff, but I really like that. I'm glad that it's not just strictly written for the trade. It is like a good transition and good like new chapter opening. So I'm kind of just enjoying this for like the craft. It's not really like perfect, but it seems like the kind of creepy like turns of panel or like page turns and kind of stuff too. It's kind of like it could only be done in comics, so I'm enjoying that. The art's like kind of good and creepy. Yeah, again, like this writing with this like demented like mom characters, like it's pretty on the nose or like too maybe going too far. But yeah, I like this. Like, say even the page turn here, just the craftsmanship of like this. The first thing you're getting on that left side is that seagull, and then this little beach house. It's a nice like establishing shot. You kind of can even like hear the ocean waves and the breeze and like the calls of the seagulls with this. It's good like atmospheric craftsmanship and stuff throughout this. This weird shot too. He's just talking to her in like this distorted kind of eye, and it gives it like a sinister undertone and just kind of this like normal kind of dialogue. She's saying, "I think it's cute." Like, this is pretty good. Like, it's good creativity on Madhouse's part. So I think I'm gonna skip with it, or stick with it, I mean, so far anyway, because enjoying that. Okay, Event Horizon Inferno #1, the new Event Horizon. The last one was pretty fun. This one seems pretty fun as well, and pretty dark. You get these twin brothers that are kind of trying to invoke demons to try and like live forever. Cuts from when they were kids to when they're in the future now. Like, the last Event Horizon was like a prequel to the movie, and this takes place way after, and they're like zillionaires or something, these evil twins that are trying to find the Event Horizon ship because maybe they know it's like a portal to hell, and they want to try and use that power to give themselves immortality. Not a bad premise again, and pretty good violence and stuff too. I can't remember I'll stick with it for now. We'll check it out. It's enjoyable enough. Not like a masterpiece. Okay, you know what? I'll mention when there's like kind of top picks of the new releases. This Firestorm #1 is a top pick. I loved it, man. I heard some people, maybe it was like Comics Elite or Thinking Critical. I forget, man. Some people were saying that this should have been a Vertigo comic, and that it's like really dark and good. And fuck that kind of, I was like, yeah, those Vertigo comics aren't quite really doing it for me, but this is fucking awesome. I loved it. He just comes down, lands in this small town. He's kind of just looking around for a couple days. The third day, he's just kind of like meditating. Then he decides to turn this town into all glass. The people don't like it, and he turns the people into glass. And the art and shit and the writing is fucking tight as shit, man. Day 5. On the 5th day, realizing what he had done, the nuclear man wept. So it's kind of like then he starts just fucking around, like he's like lost his mind, and just, he can alter matter at like the atomic level. And it reminds me of I liked that OMAC that was by Bruce Jones, where it's like evil, where he's going evil. And yeah, this is so enjoyable. This is so fun to read, man. I really like this. I've never read Jeff Lemire. I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like, what? Because I think he's supposed to be really good. He wrote this. And yeah, I didn't, you kind of hear these names and it's just like, all right, whatever. But this is like fucking awesome. I loved it. I'm good. I can't wait to read issue #2. Hopefully it's, you never know, like some things might start strong and not. Yeah, the art is really great too. Really good and atmospheric, and it's so creepy. Like, you can almost hear the inhumanity in his voice when you see these dialogues and stuff, balloons. I'm not very familiar with Firestorm, but when I was a little kid in British Columbia, when I was about 3 years old, I had some of these like superpowers toys, I think. And Firestorm, I used to really love that toy, and the Green Lantern too. But yeah, that's about the extent of my knowledge on these characters. So sorry if I'm a noob, but saying that, it is noob friendly to get in on this. I felt it was really like, they even have like a short little panel here, kind of just. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, where you can kind of like, just a short history. Don't let the puffy sleeves fool you. This guy's a level 10 meta. He can literally transmute matter at the atomic level. Over the years, Firestorm's nature has been in flux. Different personas, different looks, and even different powers. The one constant is that he has been completely unstable since his creation. So you kind of are, it seems to me that you're getting like a backstory here, but you're not getting like overwhelmed. Like, it's just kind of short and sweet to the point. Yeah, I loved it, man. I fucking loved it. I'll be checking out more of these. It's so creepy and cold. It's kind of like if Dr. Manhattan just went like evil, it seems. There to start out. Yeah, so that's one of the top picks of the new releases for sure. This one is pretty meh. It was a cover buy though, because there's a little bit of hype about this Ivan Talavera cover, and I was like, yeah, I do kind of like it. So I get a couple cover buys per month, it seems. Reading this was kind of meh. I guess a lot of the Marvel comics are like $5 now. There's one of the few that's like 4. But yeah, it was like whatever. It was fine. It didn't piss me off, but it was just like, okay, whatever. And I'm jumping in, like not really knowing, but it didn't really have enough like action or intrigue for me to dig it. I feel like a Wolverine comic should be satisfying in those regards. It should have like some gritty action, or a savage action rather, which is a bit of what you got with this Silent Missions Copperhead. The Silent Missions Cobra haven't been hitting too hard for me. A lot of these ones, it kind of seems like yeah, and even the original Silent Missions it's more like a comic story, just like lacking dialogue and noise sound effects maybe. Like there would be a lot of talking and stuff. This is kind of a romp though. If you like this Copperhead character, you're just seeing like how lively and badass his life is. So he's just always up to some rowdy shit. Kind of cool, but I think you got to be a fan of this guy. I'm not very familiar. There are a ton of like little panels though. You can see that this guy probably like maybe wanted to tell like a long story, but is like limited in pages. I guess this must be like in Florida or something. It seems like some Florida guy kind of stuff. Yeah, kind of good, but not enough to me. These Cobra Silent Mission ones haven't been that good to me, to the point I'm like, okay, I'm not keeping these. I'm gonna like sell them as a set or something. But then the last issue came out, and it's Firefly, and Jorge Fornes and Dave Stewart. This one is perfect. This is like the perfect kind of silent issue, where it's so like you feel the quiet in it, because it's just like like a spy kind of ninja story, man, breaking into this complex and like killing people and stealing shit. This is perfect. This is like a perfect silent issue, actually. So it's a bummer that I can't just sell the whole set together, because I want to keep this one. In my opinion, this is the strongest one. The Baroness one had some like pretty good art, but it wasn't really my thing. This is like, you're kind of like Where Eagles Dare, Guns of Navarone, breaking into a big military base and just taking them all out and sabotaging all the equipment and stealing stuff. Perfect. A lot of times though, I mean, like this chick, she probably would have screamed when she got what do you call it, harnessed? What's this? The kind of trap. Just killing all these different people in different ways too, like 1 page per kill in this kind of section. Pretty good. Yeah, and these, you gotta love these kind of pages and panels too. Pretty perfect. Just the genre, I guess, of silent kind of spy issues. It's great. And this panel too, where finally the alarm is tripped off to his presence. Perfect. So simple, so effective, so striking. This is it. This is that's the kind of silent shit you want. The ending is cool too, man. I guess I won't show it. Yeah, I won't show the ending. But yeah, this is my fave out of the batch of those silent missions for Cobra. I liked the G.I. Joe ones, the ones I've read anyways. Okay, Godzilla Masterpiece Theater. Romeo and Juliet Meet Godzilla. I didn't read that because I don't read those. I ain't reading no romantic Shakespearean talk, man. We're gonna get to that later when we talk about Oddball Odyssey, though. But I got this for the Shoلی backup. Maybe I'll read this later, the main story. But it's a lot to pay, man. I don't know if I really want to. I wish the Shoلی one was just... I guess it's in different parts, and this is $8 for the fucking issue. And I just bought it for, like, the shorter backstory, and it's like, you can't really justify that, man. But the Sholy, his cartooning is so fun. I love the colors he chooses, too. They're so, like... soothing. They're so like easy on the eye, but they're so weird too. Robin almost looking like Jack of the Green Man here too at the same time. Fun cartooning and layouts, man. I really do like it. It's really fun. Kind of reminds me of this like kind of Errol Flynn, like old school era of like Zorro and Robin Hood when you're a kid and you could just enjoy this kind of thing. Or like Princess Bride level freaking dueling or action and stuff and dialogue. Pretty fun. This art too, like I wish these other covers had come in. I had to get this like Homage cover. I'm not a big fan of that movie or anything. I've never even seen it. Just never interested in it. But I wish I would have been like this instead. Like again, like nice layout is simple, but I do like it. I like his art. Even though I was hating on his ass whenever he would be like the guest on Cartoonist Kayfabe, but he's got some chops. Really respect. Okay, the new Hank Howard series, Hank Howard Pizza Detective, A Slice of Life. Fun as hell again. I really like it. Really fun. Robert Benedetti on the writing, I think. Or is it co-writing? Does it say? I guess he's sole writer, and then Lapham is just the art. But fun as shit, and like a weird, you know, that kind of detective noir stuff. If you're a fan of that, I do like those books, and this like rings true. Even though it's a comedy, it doesn't like, it's not annoying. Like sometimes when people are playing on like a genre, especially if it's one you like, you'll be like, oh, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, like they're just kind of making fun of it. But rather they're like having fun with it, and it's fun. This is fun, man. Like the noir crime thing and it being kind of like comedic, but you're still invested in the like story too. Yeah, nice stuff, man. Taking this, oh man, there's good moments here too. Really taking it. Can't wait for the next one. So that'll be a pick too. Okay, I'm not familiar with Headlopper, but I saw this. Andrew McLean is the writer of A Death Fight Forever, right? So I wanted to give more of his stuff a shot. Okay, this is square bound. It might be hard for me to look at through. Really that kind of cool, like Alexis Arid style, for lack of better terms. Sorry, cartooning. But not quite here. I like this. I mean, it's like Death, like playing guitar. Just bow, bow, creak, creak when he's tuning it up. And he's hitting it, and he's just talking about like death, the nature of death. There is like some cool like kind of fantasy philosophy here as Death himself narrates the story, and this really nice layout too of like him kind of in the sky and this little tavern here where our story opens up. But this kind of style of art, it never really like works for me. Like it kind of would probably when I was younger or something. Maybe this is more like for like a kid who is about 10 years old. There is some grim, or like some people, it just doesn't suit my taste personally. The more like childishy thing. Not that I'm trying to be adult, but it just doesn't really like even Adventure Time. It's good, but it doesn't like, for me, it's just not my thing. I like this more like grim. Oh, this is cool. Cartooning here too when he's just talking about like the creation of the earth and like death, and then you get these panels opening up. And Death in the final panel just saying lovely, showing all this pretty stuff before you get to this dark stuff too. It's weird. All these weird monster designs are wicked too. Life crawled from the Death's only children, God's cogs of a cosmic machine. Mulgred's record of truth. Yeah. So the thing about this kind of like kiddish, like humorous, whimsical fantasy art is like it's a little too like whimsical and like maybe flowery, or not flowery, but like there's just too much. Like if it was more cut down and chopped, like they're kind of having fun. Like a lot of it is like Arrhenius, I'd say. Like the dialogue and writing is like the kind of thing, you know, when you're young and you're like full of spunk and energy and you just kind of like write, and then you're just writing like lots of like jokes and like, you know, for lack of a better thing, because of my hatred, I'd say like kind of nonsense. Like there's kind of a lot of like nonsense that's like unneeded, just because like you could tell the writer is having fun so much, and like you don't want to like get in their way and stop them. But I wish it was more cut down and grim. That's why I really like this chopped down like kind of grim stuff. But like, yeah, these funny monsters or designs are really cool. I feel like this would be maybe the kind of thing, maybe like kind of like the Princess Bride. Like I love everything about the Princess Bride, but this is like kind of that kind of thing maybe where you could probably enjoy it with like your child, like if they're like 7, years oldish or more, like if they know about the concept of death, basically, like you don't want little kids really like thinking about death or murder or anything, but if they already know about that, then you can kind of like have fun with something like this. You could probably read it with a kid, and it's almost like a fairy tale the way it like opens up and has chapters and stuff, and it would be fun in that regard. Yeah, these goblins are fucking awesome. These guys are pretty awesome too. A lot of the characterization is pretty fun, and like they're like kind of like just, it seems like this kind of writing he's making it up as he goes along, and it's kind of just like fill your panel with like a lot of dialogue and jokes and stuff, and it doesn't always like hit with me. It is good, but I'm just like kind of like, I want it to be like more cut down and just like more boiled down, more distilled. Not to say it's not, but just for me. Like I love these kind of like pages here. Grace, elegance, style, slaughter. I have known of no other to send more souls to my doorstep than he. I cherish this one, though I know I should not. Yeah, this kind of stuff is like when it's really good to me. But yeah, your mileage may vary. I think it is like pretty awesome. Man, Image is killing it when you talk about like Marvel comics being 20 something pages and $5. This is $8, but it's a nice square bound package, and like, yeah, man, this is a B cover. But this, if you're into that kind of thing, you could probably really enjoy it. Like if I had like a kid around that age, it would probably be pretty fun to just like read this with them. I was like, reading this out loud is fun too as well, for the most part. Okay, now to get one that fucking sucks. Hello Body Horror #1. God damn it. Come on, guys. Get your shit together. This is the black bag variant because of NSFW cover, but it's not really... I mean, there's like the monster that has like tits growing out of it or something, but yeah, this sucks. Just skip it. It fucking sucks, man. Another one of those things where... Man, okay, we talk about like comparing stuff to like TV or movies a lot. You know how like The Simpsons, they'll try to like be pertinent by talking about some trend in culture, like in later seasons, where they'll like be stumbling around making some kind of commentary or point about like trends or fads, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and there's like nothing very interesting about it when you get down to it. That's what's happening with a lot of these like horror anthologies, man. It's like, just fucking shut up. Just don't. How about not? How about you just don't? As I wish it would happen, but then maybe there wouldn't be anything, rather. And I'm not saying, I mean, it's easy to criticize. I'm not creating anything myself, but this is the problem happening with a lot of these things, it seems. Yeah, it has this moment, so there's kind of like nice art here, but just skip it. If you like reading your comics and you want to continue to enjoy reading and not get turned off of giving things chances, skip these a lot. Because fuck, man, sometimes when I read the shit like this is like, okay, just there's nothing going on. There's like nothing interesting going on in this kind of like scenes or whatever. Fucking, I'm done. I'm gonna like spend money on other things. But yeah, there are this is pretty good. Ordain #2, because this is a reprint, but kind of got me on board. The main thing though is kind of the writing is so tight. Again, this is Venditti, right? Who's the writing on Hank Howard. Yeah, the writing is more tight, I feel, than the action. Like, the action's cool, but I do get a little bit of problems with it. Yeah, this kind of like, man, the dialogue's actually like pretty sick, pretty suspenseful. Like, I can't really predict it. You can kind of predict like these kind of tropes. You know what I said is like, they shouldn't have messed with him. He's a badass, actually. And maybe taking that trope to the extreme of him being like a devout like Catholic, right? It's like But yeah, some of this stuff is like, okay, he like puts the seat back to duck the bullet, hit the guy with the door, using the door as like a shield against bullets. That seems pretty silly, because I mean, it's not made out of steel, right? I don't think, not to be all neckbeard Reddit and Mythbusters guy, but I think bullets go through car doors, don't they? I think you can only like hide behind an engine block or something against. Maybe if it's like 22 or 9mm, maybe it won't, but I think it still will. I forget though. But anyways, just little nitpicks like that is like, I feel like the kind of the action could be polished a little bit, not to be a fucking asshole. It's pretty good, but I like the Gehenna action better, actually. Like, it's more like the dialogue is the stronger of the two. The action's good though. Like, I'm just being a snob, but I mean, you have to be a snob sometimes for the sake of talking about things. Anyways, it could be better. I mean, it's perfectly like fine and passable, but I just mean if it was to be like A plus, like S tier shit, then that's what you would be getting instead, right? It's pretty good. It's probably like B plus, put it that way. Okay, Oddball's Odyssey. I love Tony Millionaire. This is the same kind of thing, man. Like, I heard people like kind of talking about they didn't like the kind of like poetry and stuff. I haven't read this forward. Maybe it is like quotes and stuff. I kind of I'm okay with it because it reminds me of, like, I don't want to be all highfalutin, but don't you like trip balls and sometimes like you talk or think epically like Sonnet-ly or something? Or like more like Alex and Clockwork Orange or something, that kind of thing. It doesn't really turn me off. I'm fine with it, but the neuroplasticity of the brain is like, it's kind of hard to read prose or poetry because it's so like odd. It isn't like logical, right? It's kind of like it bends and shit, like the ideas and the words. I like it though. I still get the same kind of Tony Millionaire vibe of just a certain, it's just so pleasant. It's just really nice, but it still has like adults, like if you like drinking and stuff or something or that kind of thing, it's still like friendly to that thing. It's not trying to be too cute or too twee or too like nice. It's still respects and can appreciate like niceness or beauty or like that kind of thing while still being that kind of like hungover fucking Bukowski stumbling and being stinky kind of thing too. I think it's friendly to both kind of aspects of life. So I do like it, man. But it is hard for me to, like, I'll be honest, it is hard for me to read like poetry or something. You need some mind-bending fucking assistance there a lot of the time. Not that I advocate for that kind of thing. If it's kind of like a muscle, maybe the more you do it, the easier it is at times, right? Like for me in school, I could never, whenever it was time to cover Shakespeare and stuff, I'd be like, I'll see you guys next time. I'm sick this week. I'm not very interested in it, but maybe like Henry Miller or that kind of shit, or fucking James Joyce or something. If you can kind of like dig with that, then you can like get with. Oh man, I love these. Yeah, I just love Tony Millionaire, man. It's just something about it. It puts you in like a different kind of world, like Sock Monkey and Mackey's and like Inches and stuff. Like, it's just a nice fucking place to be. Like, talking about Nancy, or for some people Peanuts, like maybe it's kind of that kind of thing to me, where you're just in that kind of, it's just a nice fucking world to spend some time in, to me, man. I'm not trying to look for like any kind of bigger meaning, but it is like, it's just nice. And it doesn't, people are saying maybe there's like, it feels kind of pretentious, but I've never felt that way about Tony Millionaire. I've never felt that he's very pretentious. It's just fucking, he's just Tony Millionaire. Just, yeah, obviously there's like, he's into this kind of classical stuff, or like a turn of the century kind of stuff. Like old books, old illustrations, maybe old kind of writing and style of talk. If you can dig with that, man. But like I said, you could just be like a drunken fucking idiot too. Like, I don't think he tries to go over people's heads. In the Angry Samoans, we're talking about rock and roll, is like, it tries to be better than idiots, rather than like rock and roll should liberate and make idiots feel free. I think he's still like that. I just want to like stick up for Tony Millionaire in that regard. Don't get it twisted. I don't think he's a sophisto. I don't think he's a snob or anything. He's fucking rad. I really like it. Got the, maybe I should have got the Mickey Mouse one, because that's the one to like maybe spec on or whatever, but I was like, I have to get a second one too. Here's the Nemo, this Dreamland one. Okay, Planet She-Hulk is finally over. We can finally stop getting these. It's how I felt more and more as this went on for myself. Again, your mileage may vary. Everybody's taste is different, but just for the coverage here. like, what the hell's with this character model too, man? I mean, whatever culture or background you're from, like, okay, fine, but I mean, why not make her hot? Okay, accept all body types and stuff, but like, nah, man. I don't come here for She-Hulk to look fucking dumpy, dude. But oh, maybe that makes it sexist. Whatever, boys and girls and whatever you are, like looking at beautiful women, right? All right, freaks. Yeah, this is kind of just wrapping it up. It's just wrapping it up. This is a nice little tribute to Sal Buscema, I guess. Nice art anyway. I didn't read this, I'll be frank. Sometimes the art is like pretty hype. Cooter and the other guy, I think, teaming up. Yeah, pretty good at points, but a lot of the time I just wish it was like hotter, or like a little bit, like, say her face there is like a bit messed up and stuff. I just wish it was a little more, like, again, pushing it to the edge to more like S tier. Like, it's pretty good, but at times it's just like, if they could have improved it a little bit more. Like, say that face there is like not quite, man. How come her nose is so long and the space between her lips is so small? Her lips and her nose, I mean. Just like, you know, once in a while stuff. This is just kind of wrapping it up. Yeah, one of these things where I'm like, again, I'm just getting it for like stuff to talk about with you guys. And maybe I'm like a bit of an asshole, for which I apologize, but it this thing I've been doing in the past couple of years of buying these things, I don't want to, like, I'm not going to collapse the fucking industry by saying this. I'm not advocating for buying new comics, guys. Like, or for most of them anyway. You kind of try it out, though. I don't want to think in terms of losing money. I'm trying to think more like it's in terms of like almost like you rented a movie, and that like you can get like some, it almost is like a periodical, but you can like sell it back to you and get like maybe half your value, or like $1 or something for it, or like $2 trade for each of these. So it's almost like renting a movie in that like you paid just to like play and then you are not like totally losing value on it, is like one way possible to do these things. But yeah, a lot of I need to be more smart and just like wait for the bargain bins more, maybe that's just Marvel making me feel like that. Okay, guys. Here's a new Swamp Thing. Other channels will probably cover this better, because honestly, I haven't read this yet, because it's one of those things where I'm not that familiar with the series. I've read like some of the trade paperbacks, but I'm not like the hugest knowledge base for Swamp Thing. I got this because the Michael Zulli foil. I'm like, when I saw them, I'm like, I probably should get the non-foil one because the art will show better. But then, just like, how ridiculous is it to get a Michael Zulli foil? Like, that's never gonna exist in any other form again, it feels. So I was like, okay, I'll be that guy to get it, I guess. Like, even though I might feel like a pretty silly or like disrespectful or like antithetical, like how could Michael Zulli and foil be like in the same or he just seems like more of like a down-to-earth kind of like environmental, like salt of the earth kind of dude, and yeah. So it's just so odd. Okay, talking about cover buys again, and I did read this Vampirella #1. This is one of those things where it doesn't like recoup the back matter, or like you can't, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this, man. You have to have read like previous issues and the story and stuff for this, and like, as if I'm gonna do that, dude. There's no way. I know Christopher Priest doesn't suck, but I was like, yeah, even though it's #1, this is not a jumping on point. But I got it because it's a fucking UV. It's ultraviolet light spots on it. And I'm like, I want to get that. I want to support that. There should be more ultraviolet covers. Let's see if it can kind of show up here. It's a little bit hard to... It's basically just the highlights and like the letters. Okay, UV doesn't show up on camera very well. But it's kind of cool. It's not like mind-blowing though, the effect, but a little bit odd enough to try for. Perio, ultraviolet light. That's a cool enough concept. And the blank version. Lastly, for comics, the Gooner cover of Zatanna #1, because I will do that. Like, I haven't read this. As you would say, just buying it for the fishnets. Just being one of those dumbasses. The interior does look pretty good though, but this is totally alien to me. I'm not actually familiar with like reading Zatanna. I do respect the art, like the okay, again, sucker for that, right? But like the look at the mix of line art and coloring, how it comes together on the legs there. It's pretty well done. Not to be just an idiot, but just talk about like what we can remark on what's striking or whatever. Maybe we'll get back to that later because I'm going to get more of these, so just haven't read that. Haven't read them all. Okay, getting lastly to new release books or art books. Okay, let's cover this one first. Creepy Presents Richard Corbin Collection. This is great that this was reissued because, man, I was like, for years, I was looking for this. And of course, like a dumbass before this new printing was solicited. Last year, I got I finally like foot the bill because it's $100 freaking bucks for those first printings. So I finally bit the bullet and got it. But then, yeah, it was solicited. This new release is, what is it? $29.99. So yeah, this is good value. Considering the first print is exactly the same, I think. Like, same cover and everything. Same package. But I think it's a hardcover, that first one, but it's like $100. You're getting it mainly for the art. A lot of these like stories are not my favorite, but yeah, when it's Corbin doing the stories, it's pretty good. Some of the Warren magazine writers are not like as awesome as Richard Corbin by himself or Jan Sternad in my personal opinion, but you are getting like a fair amount of like good stuff. So the art's always awesome. The writing sometimes is not as, but there's enough good stuff in here. This is a great value. So definitely another winner as far as new releases go. This is thick, man. Okay, how many pages are we at here? We're gonna get to like 400. Just about 400. Just under-ish. 350-ish for $30. Maybe you're getting a discount too at your shop, whatever they do. So I'm not gonna do the math, but it's cheap per page. That's great. Okay, lastly, Art and Beauty, drawings by R. Crumb. Let's end on a nice artistic note here. Oh, that new book binding sound and smell. So I have not to humble brag, but I have the original magazines of this. Oh yeah, this trade dress is based on like some like turn of the century or 1930s, maybe kind of like pin-up-y postcard babes back in the days of yore. His late wife Aline Gominski Crumb there, I think. Yeah, I really love this stuff. When it's Crumb just doing like sketches and stuff. This one in particular is like of him sketching women. A subject which he has a deep passion for, of course, sketching. This is a nice package too, how it just has these like little blurbs of him thinking about like his thoughts on the model and how they look and like the personality that shows, and these like quotes too. The original magazines go for like pretty expensive. Yeah, these effects too, so good. This is when you just draw so much that you're just way good at drawing. I love it. Oh, so awesome, man. The lighting effects there. Yeah, we'll just look through these a bit. Have to be careful. But I mean, if you got this far. Yeah, it turns out I didn't realize there's like 3 issues reprinted. I only have the first 2. But I got some extra copies of this because I figured, like, how often will this be collected or reprinted? Some of this Fantagraphics stuff I'm getting extra copies just to have. Because I'm like, yeah, I know, like, so I could probably, like, sell it to the sim. Make, like, $1 or $2 by just preserving it and having it available for the future. Just because it's, like, it's too good for, other people gotta have access to it. I'm not trying to, like, make crazy bucks out there, but man, I would love so much to like run a comic shop or like a section of a comic shop or a section of a shop for comics and books and stuff. Oh man, this is so good. yeah, guess we'll be leaving now on that bombshell. Thanks for watching, guys. Chime on in with any comments you like to say. I love hearing from you guys, even though I'm too dumb sometimes to like do anything but just heart it, like, because I'll just be like, yeah, you're right. So apologies if I just do that. It's not any kind of slight or anything. I'm just like too dumb to. I don't actually talk to people a lot in real life. I kind of started this channel doing these commentaries to be better at like talking, because I used to like not talk that much, honestly. It's just a way to like practice. So I'm not like the most personable person, but you guys do help me out. Weird nugget of info. Sorry to end on that, but that'll be the end for now. So thanks a lot, guys. Cheers out there. Take care.